It is what it is. It is a empty comparison. It's absolutely never find the true answer to that question.
It's a circular conversation.
It's just going to keep
You're
going.
Never gonna get
and
a right
I understand.
Answer. But it's great to talk about.
100% to talk about and envision. Look.
This passage argues that what makes Michael Jordan unique is not just his championships, records, or clutch performances, but his complete indifference to the GOAT debate itself. The narrator portrays Jordan as someone who never sought validation or campaigned for recognition, suggesting that this mindset was the same psychological trait that made him such a dominant competitor. By highlighting the stunned reactions of fellow NBA legends and emphasizing Jordan's statement that the debate doesn't exist for him, the videos shift the focus away from comparing him to LeBron James and toward a broader idea that true greatness comes from respecting players who came before and concentrating on excellence rather than legacy rankings.
It just doesn't exist for me.
This passage emphasizes that Michael Jordan views basketball greatness as a legacy passed from one generation to the next rather than a competition between eras. By acknowledging the influence of pioneers like Oscar Robertson and Jerry West, Jordan demonstrates an appreciation for the players who helped shape the game before he arrived. The narrator argues that this perspective is significant because it challenges the way fans and analysts frame the GOAT debate, suggesting that greatness cannot be understood without recognizing the contributions of earlier generations. Jordan's comments are presented not as an act of modesty, but as evidence of a deeper understanding of basketball's history and the interconnected nature of success across different eras.
I never played against Oscar Robertson or Jerry West. Would have loved to. Absolutely love to. Just as competitive as I am. And I actually learned from them, and we, paved the road to the Kobe's and LeBron's, right?
This passage argues that the true issue with the GOAT debate is not statistics, championships, or individual accomplishments, but the tendency to diminish past generations in favor of modern players. According to the narrator, Michael Jordan believes that comparing eras often overlooks the contributions of the pioneers who helped build and evolve the game. Rather than defending his own legacy, Jordan is portrayed as criticizing the assumption that advances in athleticism and skill automatically make earlier players less significant. The mention of Reggie Miller reinforces this point, suggesting that the debate should be framed with greater respect for basketball's history and an understanding that each generation lays a foundation for the next.
But don't then, in essence, this is where I look at it, don't then now use that against the player that actually taught you the game or that you learned from.
This passage criticizes a tendency to dismiss earlier basketball legends as inferior simply because they played in a different era. By referencing figures such as Oscar Robertson, who averaged a triple-double for an entire season, Jerry West, whose image inspired the NBA logo, and Bill Russell, who won an unprecedented 11 championships, the narrator argues that these pioneers are often unfairly overlooked in modern GOAT discussions. The point attributed to Michael Jordan is that greatness cannot be judged without acknowledging the players who established the standards, popularity, and evolution of the sport. Rather than focusing on who ranks first, the passage emphasizes respect for the historical foundations of basketball and the contributions of those who made later generations possible.
You're never going to win when you get into the GOAT discussion because everyone's going to have their opinion. I think where the old heads get upset is this younger generation wants to talk about, well, Mike only played against plumbers. These guys really, they need to stop that and respect the guys that came before in the 60s and 70s.
This passage highlights the nuance in Michael Jordan's perspective on modern stars, particularly LeBron James. Rather than dismissing today's players, Jordan is portrayed as openly admiring their achievements, acknowledging LeBron's extraordinary career as well as the impact of players like Kobe Bryant and Kevin Durant. The narrator emphasizes that Jordan respected how the current generation has advanced the sport, but argued that direct comparisons across eras are inherently flawed. His point was not that one era is better than another, but that each generation faces different circumstances, rules, competition, and challenges, making the GOAT debate less about finding a definitive answer and more about appreciating greatness in its
Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell had 11 championships.
Yeah.
How do you just push them in the corner and say, we ain't gonna think about you. We forgot about you. That to me is where I get lost.
This passage argues that the GOAT debate is ultimately impossible to settle because players from different eras competed under vastly different conditions. According to the narrator, Michael Jordan viewed cross-era comparisons as fundamentally flawed since rules, playing styles, athletic development, training methods, and league structures have changed dramatically over time. Rather than proving one player is definitively better than another, the debate ignores variables that can never be controlled or tested. The mention of Kenny Smith sets up a deeper argument that beyond statistics and championships, there was a unique quality about Jordan that distinguished him even among all-time greats. The narrator suggests this intangible trait, likely related to his mentality, competitiveness, or ability to perform under pressure, is what made Jordan such a singular figure, and why simple comparisons with other legends may never fully capture his impact.
That's what it is. It is a empty comparison. Is it absolutely never find that the true answer to that question?
It's a circular conversation.
It's just going to keep
You're
going.
never going to get
and
it right
I understand.
answer. But it's great to talk about.
100% to talk about and envision. Look.
This passage argues that what truly separated Michael Jordan from most all-time greats was his ability to dominate both offensively and defensively at the highest level. The narrator highlights comments from Kenny Smith suggesting that opponents actively avoided attacking Jordan on defense while still having to contend with his elite scoring on offense, making him a rare two-way force. His 9 first-team all-defensive selections are presented as evidence that he impacted every possession rather than conserving energy for scoring. Beyond basketball, however, the passage shifts to a broader point. The GOAT debate can create unnecessary hostility by reducing the accomplishments of past legends into a simple ranking. According to the narrator, Jordan's concern is not about protecting his own status, but about ensuring that the contributions of earlier generations are respected rather than forgotten in the effort to declare a single greatest player.
Everything that we talk about and we see on this part, on the offensive end, he was just as good on the defensive end. You know, if you were in a Houston Rocket locker room when we played the Chicago Bulls, we'd say, we're going to run X5. But if Jordan's on the left side, we're going to run it on the right. So kind of like what I heard that they did at times with Deion Sanders in football. Like, we're not throwing it to that side of the floor. So not many players had the complete package, both on the offensive and defensive end, where they can get 30.
This passage argues that a major flaw in modern GOAT debates is a tendency to overlook the sacrifices and challenges faced by earlier generations of players. The narrator suggests that many discussions focus so heavily on contemporary stars that they unintentionally erase the struggles of those who played in more physical eras, when defensive hand-checking was legal, flagrant foul rules were less protective, and players endured far greater contact on a nightly basis. By referencing the punishment that Michael Jordan absorbed from rivals such as the Detroit Pistons, the New York Knicks, and the Cleveland Cavaliers, the passage emphasizes that greatness should be evaluated within the context of each era's unique demands. The broader message is that honoring basketball's history means recognizing not only the achievements of current stars, but also the physical and personal sacrifices made by the generations that helped shape.
I have no animosity against today's players, but you do have certain players that do have animosity because of the forgottenness of what their contribution has been to the game of basketball.
This concluding passage argues that Michael Jordan's greatness cannot be fully captured by statistics or championships alone, even though his achievements, 6 titles, 6 finals MVPs, 10 scoring titles, and extraordinary playoff performances are unmatched by many measures. The narrator contends that Jordan's defining characteristic was his mentality, an unwavering competitiveness, resilience under pressure, and complete indifference to external validation. By dismissing the GOAT debate as irrelevant to him, Jordan is portrayed as someone whose confidence came from what he accomplished on the court rather than from public recognition. The passage ultimately frames the debate not as a question of numbers, but as a reflection of Jordan.